वो दिन कितने प्यारे थे, ये दिन भी कितने प्यारे हैं। तब बाबा साथ हमारे थे, तब बाबा साथ हमारे थे। बाबा अब भी साथ हमारे हैं।
फिर भी बाप दादा बच्चों की उमंग और लगन को देख खुश होते। मेजॉरिटी को लक्ष्य अच्छा स्मृति में रहा। स्मृति में अच्छे नंबर लिए। स्मृति के साथ समृद्धि, उसमें नंबर 1। स्मृति और समृद्धि दोनों साथ साथ रहना, इसको कहेंगे नंबर 1 प्राइज के योग्य। स्मृति सदा, समृद्धि कभी कभी वह परसेंटेज में रहना, उसको कहेंगे नंबर वार के लिस्ट में। समझा? एक्यूरेट चार्ट रखने वालों की भी नामों की माला बनेंगे। अभी आगे क्या करेंगे? अभी भी बहुत नहीं तो थोड़ा थोड़ा है। इस थोड़े समय में भी विधि पूर्वक पुरुषार्थ की वृद्धि
The greatness of purity, purity, the way to first class, the way to the first class air-conditioned division is based on just one thought. That one thought is, I am originally a pure soul. My original form is not impure. I am originally and eternally a pure soul. Impurity is artificial. It is not real. It is a gift of the Shudras. So how can Brahmins use belongs to Shudras? Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today's day 6. The greatness of purity. Purity, the way to first class. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, everyone. Happy? Yeah, so original date of Raksha Bandhan is August 11th, that's Thursday. But because of weekend, many places in the family has already started tying Rakhi. We also had one because we have to do few days, right? Otherwise, the space and to sit together and bud tea for 2 hours at least. So we all had very good experience. So everyone was set in bud tea with lot of love and then enjoyed their Brahma Bhojan because it is after 2-3 years actually. We are tying Rakhi. Last year we gave Rakhi in hand and some people felt, oh, that's not Rakhi. But this year we are tying Rakhi. Even maintaining wearing the mask and social distances, whatever is necessary. So Baba says, Baba gives certificate actually to that our awareness and the power of awareness both are there. Awareness is Simrti, right? And Samarthi. That means our capacity, whatever we have to do or think we were able to do. But still Baba gave us some homework. There is time still, Baba said. If the purity is easy because it's natural, right? Brahma Baba got this thought from Shiv Baba, which we all got also, that as a soul, eternally, I am pure. Impurity is not mine. I am a pure soul. Eternally. That means while on journey, in the cycle of taking birth, rebirth, we acquired, because of body consciousness, lot of impurities. And actually, once you have this feeling or realization, when I went to meet Baba, Shiv Baba, but it's through Brahma Baba, when I sat in front of Baba and took drishti, because Baba's purity, was not just being viceless, but he was in that incorporeal stage, an angelic stage. And together with Baba, I had such experience of purity. And I found that all impurities are being removed. I am liberated from there. Now again, it's a big task, not only, of course, to have experience with Baba's grace, Baba's blessing, but to maintain that purity throughout the confluence stage in our thoughts, words, actions. Baba says relationships. Lot of past karmic accounts, sanskars based on that, they emerge in form of feelings, in form of ideas, and then we know internally in our mind that I am pure, I have nothing against anyone, I have good wishes. But in practice, in practical, it's not all the time we were able to maintain that purity. Now, Brahma Baba was able to do. That is why whatever happened, like one of the things Baba says, that to remain unshakable in your mind, intellect, and actions. Because of purity, Brahma Baba was able to maintain unshakable stage. I don't think he ever had thought, will we be victorious? What will happen to Yagya? Like these days, we have so many of us say, but what's the future of Yagya? Every time we met Baba, and if we had subtle question, Baba said, it's Baba's Yagya. Baba will sustain the Yagya. Baba, will we get enough money all the time? Baba's Yagya, Baba's Bandara will be full. He had answers which were 100% faith. Now that's purity. It's our own subtle doubts which creates questions. What's the future? Who will carry on? Who will sustain? You will be surprised that when I talk to seniors in Madhuban, they just feel that we are limited. Yajna is so big now. And they just said, it's God. Baba is taking care of the yajna. So I'm just saying that quality of thoughts, as I say, it's not impurity like you will get very angry or greedy or attachment. But subtly, the questions, doubts, how will it happen? Will it happen? Is it possible? Not possible? Just imagine if Brahma Baba was wavering like this, what must be happening? What will happen to all of us? Or Dadi Prakash Mani. Every time it's Baba's wonder, it's Baba's miracle. See how Baba is making things happen. Every time she will talk about, one day I asked her, she was traveling to Chile with me. How will billions of souls are there? Just imagine destruction of so many people. She smiled, and from the window of the plane, because you know that So when we travel to Chile and Argentina, the ocean, unlimited water. As you see from window, you only see is ocean. She said, what it takes for so much water to clean everything. I mean, she was saying with so much conviction that all the elements together will take care of Baba's task. Because for pure world, impure world has to end. And Baba said there is a way the world has to be cleansed. No, everything has to be clean. So one time Baba said, all elements together, trees and water and air and fire. So we do many kinds of natural calamities happen. For Baba, they're not calamities. We call it calamities. So we also have to see everything, that how elements will take care. Because human beings, even if they destroy and kill, they can't clean, right? They create actually more destructive things, and you see wherever war is going on, they have so many broken structures, broken buildings, but one big wave of water. This is the ego of many, where they think this is my land, this is mine, this is mine. But no, Baba had been telling us transformation of nature through our drishti. So both will be happening. On one side, the furious form of nature. I always say whenever there is any kind of calamity, that nature is not happy. It's trying to give us some signal. I think, I don't know how many of you, those who were heard about Shakespeare, in that there are a lot of things connected with nature where he says, as soon as there used to be thundering, they will doubt that something wrong is being done here. Either somebody is trying to be dishonest, somebody is trying to steal something. So this thundering is happening. They always used to feel any kind of reaction from the nature is from the evils of the minds of people. Something they evil. And that night they were planning to kill him. And so I'm just giving example that nature has a lot of connection with us. So same is like yesterday when Baba said, when there is purity, nature is transformed to help you, to support you, to sustain you, right? But when there is impurity, then nature revolts also. That means this basic internal conviction that purity is the main power. I am pure, elements are pure, everything is pure, and that is called uh, eternal and then original. Original is all pure, golden age, Sato Pradhan. That's original, right? So creating this awareness of purity as my eternal and original stage. will definitely help us that whenever, because of any impurities, some such obstacles come, it could be within the family, it could be from the nature. What I noticed that even if you have a little bit of wasteful thought, you will see the obstacle. Either you will get the news which is not good, either you will have to do which you don't want to do or not necessary to do. Be very careful that your weak thought is creating obstacle on your way. Use the power of purity to always create very powerful thoughts, very elevated thoughts. And always, I find uh, keep people, anyone, all the souls in your heart as very pure souls. All the souls are pure, but all the layers and acquired, and that is a lot. And I think everyone is making effort, lot of effort, right? I find to remove all that. So Baba gives us homework, but also he tells us how. So maintaining the awareness of I am pure soul eternally and originally will really help you. And our own Brahmin life is the joy, outcome, results is of purity, pure thoughts, words, actions, and relationships. So take number one. There are still a lot of number one seats we can claim every day. It's not question of I have already claimed. No, Baba says still there is time. We all can claim number one. Om Shanti.
Purity, the way to first class. The way to the first class air conditioned division is based on just one thought. That one thought is, I am originally a pure soul. My original form is not impure. I am originally and eternally a pure soul. Impurity is artificial. It is not real. It is a gift of the Shudras. So how can Brahmins' use belong to Shudras? पवित्रता फर्स्ट क्लास में जाने का साधन। फर्स्ट व एयर कंडीशन में जाने का सिर्फ एक संकल्प का साधन है। वह एक संकल्प है, मैं हूँ ही ओरिजिनल पवित्र आत्मा, ओरिजिनल स्वरूप अपवित्रता नहीं है। अनादि और आदि दोनों काल का ओरिजिनल स्वरूप पवित्र है। अपवित्रता तो आर्टिफिशियल है, रियल नहीं है, शूद्रों की देन है। शूद्रों की चीज ब्राह्मण कैसे यूज कर सकते? ओम शांति। Om Shanti, everyone. So today is Saturday, and Saturday is our chit chat day, right? So the welcome to the Avyakti journey, Avyakti Parivar chit chat, sweet conversations that overflow with insights and inspirations. So I would like to invite our dear brother, Brother Eric. Welcome.
Om Shanti, everyone, dear Avyakti Parivar and dearest Mohini Didi. Welcome, nice to see you again. I was meeting with Didi Jayanti today earlier, and the jasmine plant keeps blooming, so I got a fresh one for you right now. And to me, when we talk about purity, I think this is a beautiful flower that inspires us, that purity. So just to express again my love, gratitude, and the topic of purity, of course, I know, like you mentioned, many are already tying Reiki. In Montreal, we have many Reiki programs happening all over the country, all over USA. And, sometime I was remembering when Baba says that you burn Ravan every year, but he doesn't burn. I was wondering, do we need to tie Reiki every year? Does it mean that we don't get something right and we have to tie it again every year? Or what's happening? Why do we have to tie it every year? I mean, of course, we know the answer, but the angle of purity, you've been talking about purity a lot, and I was wondering, how can we talk chit-chat about it? And I thought maybe our attitude towards purity and our attitude towards impurity, sometimes our own, because I think we understand more and more the definition of purity, the power of purity. Baba has been describing it, and you have been helping us to understand what is pure, what is not pure. But my attitude towards, every year making the same promise again and thinking, okay, it didn't work totally last year, so let me try again one more time. Maybe this will work. Is it like this? Or first of all, how would you help us in making the fact that we tie Reiki every year relevant? So we don't just burn Ravan every year and it comes back. How do we tie Reiki every year so it's relevant and we're not just losing sometimes the enthusiasm thinking, well, I've done it last year, but after 3 months, it didn't work so well, so I'm doing it again. So is there another way of thinking? Must be, right?
No, but we don't burn Ravan. Do we burn Ravan every year?
No, but the parallel was, but we do tie Reiki every year.
No, so we don't burn Ravan every year, right?
Normally, not.
Yeah, I feel that just one realization that whatever we are doing in life is not restrictions. It's not like we adopting something. Because I like the point when said, when you really just realize that my eternal and original self is purity. So all these subtle layers which are acquired, within these, all these births and karmic accounts and everything, I think it will help us. And I'm not tying Rakhi for kind of reminder of purity or all that, but it's a beautiful bond with God. Even if I have bond with God, but today, like Baba gave the message that everyone who is serving, they are like my right hands. You cannot hold the hand of people these days. You do not shake hands, right? But you can still shake hand with me. Not only shake hand with me, but you can hold hand. So for me, it is more like a bond of love with God. And every time, just as Baba said, just feeling very close to God. And so it's not just purity, it's the relationship with God. It's the bond of love with God. So I think we enjoy the ceremony, right? Today we had few hours of bhakti. Rakhi tying was excused to sit for so many hours, and family was together. So it's a kind of celebration also.
Do you
Yeah.
still find it's relevant to make promise or to, because for me, I mean, I always find that Raksha Bandhan is the bond of protection, of course, but to me, I always felt that I renew my commitment, my engagement, my sincerity. I like to reinforce it. I feel that I enjoy, even if I look at the year that is over and I say, okay, yeah, there were maybe some areas that it was not, perfect yet, but I always want to renew my enthusiasm and my determination, my commitment. How do you feel we can keep that authenticity in you renewing that commitment in a way that is fresh, new, different, and not just repeating, the same, when we were to church, I don't know, in Christianity, I was a boy and every Sunday we had to go to mass and we go to the confessional. It's a strange thing. You go in the little cabin. Have you seen that in a church? And you
Yeah.
go into this very strange cabin and the priest is behind. You can barely see him and you have to confess all your sin and say, this week I've done this, I've done that, I've done that. So I promise not to do it again. And the punishment was to do so many times a certain prayer. So we'll go back in a church and do 10 times Our Father. And me, when I was a young boy, I didn't know what to say to the priest. So I would have a list of mistakes and I would choose every week which one I can tell him today. And I would repeat certain mistakes and he would tell me the same thing every week, do 3 times that prayer. So I lost faith in changing my mistakes because I thought, what will I do? Just to pray again and my mistake will be erased. So when I tie Rakhi is different, but I'm looking for how we make it relevant when it's the repetition. We do it every year. What do we need to look for every year so it becomes suddenly like if it's the first time?
It could be not only, of course, as you said, new enthusiasm, new inspirations, and kind of, I feel it is more feeling power of love from Baba. And it's something very auspicious also, right? It's something very sacred also about the ceremony. It's not only about impurities and mistakes and all that, but something very auspicious to be tied again by Baba. During Brahma Baba's days, we never had tie racking ceremony because Baba used to say, you all are pure, why you want to tie the rakhi? But then it began, I don't remember exactly when we started, but when it began, it seemed very, very auspicious, sacred, and kind of deeply within yourself, awakening of, some more deeper, uh, whether it's purity, whether love for Baba, our commitment to yagya, So it's a kind of awakening which happens, which is not visible when I say it's not done by anyone. But today, like few were sharing, when they take drishti, like something is born in me, something is awakened in me. And so it's different, So of course it has significance for everyone.
Would you have suggestions in terms of what do you think we should think, or what could we think if somebody tie Raki and they're looking for some inspiration? What to think? Do we pledge something to Baba? Do we make
Yeah.
promises, or do we just enjoy the sacredness of the moment, or do we make a deal with Baba, or do we bargain with him, or what do we do?
Yeah, I think enjoy the sacredness, and it's like bringing yourself very close to Baba, and in Baba's company, like even if, like today, I was not tying Rakhi, we had one sister giving tilak, another one was doing Rakhi and Toli blessing, and I was in the middle giving drishti, and I was just remembering Baba and let every soul receive what they want to receive from Baba. Not saying anything to Baba, but for me, it is more to be with Baba and celebrate with Baba joy of our purity, inheritance of our purity. Like today, somebody was saying, I was talking about mercy and the grace that I don't want God's mercy, right? I don't want to live on mercy, but I want to live on His grace. And in the sense of that, He give His own light and His own glow to all of us so that we can glorify Him, we can do more than what we are doing now. So I celebrate more, and I just like today many people were saying certain things, and I just said, well, it's Baba's grace, it's Baba's blessings. So more we go to Baba and celebrate sacredness, I'm sure we receive some different gifts also, right? It's not question of what you want, right? Oh, I don't want this to happen in my life. I don't want. These are just the thoughts, right? Let Baba give me, let Baba do what he wants to do with me, so that I am a good instrument. I am capable so that Baba can use me for unlimited service.
Is there a year or moment or one time that you tied Reiki, or you had Reiki tied on you, that really stays with you as a special one? Or was there, because you must have received so many Reikis in so many years, but is there a year when for you it was very special and you still remember it sometimes?
What I find when I am being tied, Raki, is lots of love, lots of love. And that loves make you feel like kind of your responsibility, what you have to do, what you have to be, and then give. That kind of feeling of, oh, I have to be this, and this is what I have to share with others. But it's just love, lot of love from Rakis.
I
Tilak,
remember,
Raki.
I remember going to Madhuban one year in the month of August because I wanted to experience Raksha Bandhan in Madhuban. And I will never forget that scene when Daddy Ji was on Om Shanti Bhavan and she had her arm covered with Raki from the little finger all the way here, because we're all tying Raki on her. And her whole arm was covered with Raki. It was so beautiful. And she took time to tie Raki on hundreds of us. I never forget that Raki was like, I don't know, I remember melting, in front of her. And I really felt afterwards, this was Baba who tied Raki on me. But like you said, the love. And this Raki, for me, I mean, you tied it on me a few weeks ago in Toronto. And so my pledge was to keep it the whole year. I'll see if it lasts the whole year, but I felt that was very sacred. And I felt that when you tied it on me, it was, yeah, Baba was, despite the masks. And like you said, I mean, my arm was a bit further than usual, but was good. I could reach. So I think there's some Rakis that are amazing for us, and they bring us the memory of being with Baba very, very deeply.
That's so in Toronto.
Yeah.
I still, when I think 700 got their Rakhi tied, 700 got Drishti. Even today, many souls will never get a Drishti even for a moment. But today they sat properly. By the time other person vacate the seat, they got quite a long Drishti. And it was a good, to be with the souls and souls sharing God's love with each other. I think it's something very important. And maybe sometime the experience is at that same moment, but sometimes later on you feel that there was lot of experience from the Drishti.
So I'd like to see if you can help me and help others, I'm sure, in increasing the quality of my thoughts when I'm confronted to my desire to be pure, the way Baba wants me to be pure, or at least the way Baba proposes us to be pure, and also increasing my ability to think properly when I see impurity in me, because my understanding is Baba defines purity almost as 100%. And he says sometimes if, even for 1 second or one thought, there's a thought or your sense organs, your actions are not accurate, this is impurity. And we understand that 100% purity will probably arrive later on. But so there's two things. So I want to be 100% pure. We're attracted to that. But how to think properly when we know we're not 100%. And let's say after one day, someone got a bit impatient, and really annoyed with somebody else, had negative thoughts. On top of that, they missed Amrit Veda on that morning. That was not good. And plus, they forgot to offer Bhog to Baba. So this was not a good day. So when they do the chant at the evening, they say, well, Baba, I don't know about my 100% purity. So how do we manage a bad day like this when we know we should be 100% pure? I'm exaggerating, but you understand what I mean, yeah?
I like yesterday when Baba said, purity is power. But use that purity, not always think about what is the quality of purity, but use the purity to transform. Day before was transform, yesterday was power. That means I have a thought, as I did mention that, what's the future of Yagya? Or looking at someone, this soul is not going to change. Immediately change your thought and give blessing. This soul is going to change. This will definitely happen. So use the purity. As much you will use purity, you will find your power of purity is increasing, And then these little mistakes which happen, one thing, they might still happen, but internally your power will keep increasing. And when power increasing, then the quality of purity will also increase. But if I don't use purity, use it for, I always say Baba is establishing golden age, new world, and let him use me, let him use my purity. So we are viceless, but then when it comes to sanskars, little habits here and there, I think they will also disappear one day.
Yeah, you let us know what day it will be so we can celebrate. But you'll agree with me that, on one hand, I know Baba says check and change. So we are doing charts. We are invited regularly to check ourselves, to explore different charts. And now we have a different one now. So in a way, we are checking ourselves. And so we're going to find that there could be improvement on this or the other. So how do you feel we should, what should be our attitude towards the fact we're not yet 100% pure? Do we ignore it, or do we?
No, see, that is whatever percentage we need to still be 100%. For that, we are making efforts, right? Let's say there are 7% left or 9% left. So realization comes. And whatever happened past and now, at present, I will improve, I will be better. So I think that we are becoming 100%, right? But don't worry about that. Whatever purity you have, whatever percentage, use it. Use more and more. Have that self-respect, self-proud of your own purity. And they always say purity is light and might. So be in that experience, right? And naturally efforts will be more realization, more transformation in a very natural way. No worry, no tension about it. Right?
I agree. I mean, this is happening more and more, and I find that, yes, we are, for me, I know I'm focusing more and more, on what is right. And not that I ignore what is not 100% right, but I try to use a wiser attitude towards it. And I remember that, Baba mentioned many times, if you make a mistake, just tell the Father, and half of it will be erased. So it reminded me of that confessional where I would write my mistakes to Baba and say, now you take care of 50% and I'll see what I do with the other 50%. But we still see if there is a mistake, what do? We tell Baba, we feel, how do we erase it now? Intelligent, like I'm again coming back to making it relevant because we're becoming more mature. But still, if there's a mistake, do we just write it to Baba and Om Shanti, or do we send it to you? Do we?
No, you should tell Baba, otherwise write and put in Baba's room. And I think Baba just takes care of it. That's one. I don't really want anyone to worry. I don't worry too. But very sweetly love yourself, love everyone. Baba's love, continue. And the change will happen. You will see that many mistakes we make now, we don't make. So again, keep practicing though. One thought that I am eternally and originally a pure soul. Impurity doesn't belong to Brahman. Keep reminding that today Baba said awareness. Keep creating awareness and power will come. And that awareness will take off all the outer shelves, outer, whatever subtle impurities are there, they will be gone. So keep practicing, come into your eternal original self. That I would recommend everyone. Anytime there is anything, just start practicing that.
And when we see this, final stage of 100% purity, how do you feel we should have a better attitude towards purity so it doesn't become a pressure, and then we become, sometimes people say, oh, you are perfectionist, and if it's not pure, you become a little bit, this is not pure. And then we become a little bit, strict or dry, or we can lose our loving stage. I know you told me last time loving is natural. Like today you said purity is simple because it's easy because it's natural. So I wrote that down. Purity is easy because it's natural. I said, okay, I'll have to think about this a bit more. But easy, it's a blessing. So yeah, when we see that purity, how do we not become perfectionist and a little bit sometimes too intense, trying to be 100% pure?
You can't be, because when there is purity, there is lightness. When there is purity, you are very happy. When there is purity, there is power, right? So purity actually bringing attainments to you, bringing all attainments to you. Always remember that. So this tension and all that is, again, you should have love for yourself when you're doing it, and pure way for purity, right? in the sense of not like in the form of one is discipline, other is principles, you are proud of them. So you should be proud of your purity and not kind of a burden of any kind on yourself or others.
Because I was remembering, so many have been taking birth online. There's many new Brahmins in the last few years. And I know some of them are telling us sometimes, well, you've been practicing so many years. I want to catch up with you. So they become very intense. They want to become 100% pure in 7 days. And I tell them it may work, but might take a little longer. So they become sometimes very, very intense, and they're young, they're very zealous, and they have zeal and enthusiasm. So it shouldn't become a pressure which is unhealthy, because then sometimes by wanting, they don't have that purity yet, but they want it. So that wanting shouldn't become a pressure which is unhealthy, right?
Yeah, that is true. We have to explain to them that you are a pure soul and you are becoming pure soul, and impurities are leaving you, and Baba will help you, nature will help you, Rama will help you, and we all also will help you. So there is always, all the time, help is there, power is there. So we have to tell them not to be tense.
We'll help them to be on time and arrive on the final lane with all of us. So thank you, Mohini Didi. Always nice to enjoy these moments with you. I feel we're really not in Zoom, but in a living Zoom, and enjoying company in front of the whole family. So I wish everyone a very happy Raksha Bandhan until next week, and let's celebrate. I know it will be on the 11th. There will be a special moment. So we'll be together and tying, I think, all of us together with Baba. And I always feel that for me, the Rakhi is, there's me on one side, there's the world on the other side, and there's Baba in between. And I feel this is how I want to be well attached. So I know you must have a very special little Rakhi Toli, maybe, or some surprise. Ooh, a whole box.
Yeah, very, very nice story. Everyone got
special Toli made for Reiki programs?
Right.
Oh.
It has silver paper on it.
The silver paper, yeah. In the beginning, I thought it was aluminum foil, and I was wondering why they gave us the Toli with the aluminum foil. And then I was told you can eat it.
This is real silver, actually.
Yeah. Must have good quality for the body, I hope.
Yeah, that's why they have gold, silver, both, because both minerals are needed in the body. Everyone take your Toli.
Enjoying the Toli. It's sweet. Thank you. All right. Om Shanti. Good night, everyone. And happy Raksha Bandhan. And thank you, Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. Thank you very much, Eric Bhai, Didi. That was a beautiful conversation about Rakhi. And I'm sure many new Baba's children got more clarity. Om Shanti. Now let's remember Baba, and we'll take Drishti from Didi.
Om Shanti. Good night, everyone. Om Shanti. Good night.